As you recall from last week's exciting episode, it was time to settle down to my new life of retirement and enjoy the fruits of my labour. But first there were things to be done, like getting Sir Rodney serviced, catching up with family,
Hot.
getting on my bike to build up some riding fitness. There was the day that Kaylee took me to see her old workplace at Millbrook Estate at Jarradale. Yeah, I think I could see the appeal of working there, because I certainly had a great time. Yes, front horizons, just have a look at the graceful aplomb with which this lady poured the wine and explained the qualities of the wine. And yes, I certainly had a fun time there.
Somehow, they're usually a lighter wine.
There was even a dam there with some black birdie thing swimming on it. I bet he was wanting to get hold of some of those grapes. And then a couple of days later, it was off to Perth to see my daughter Ingrid with Daniel and the grandchildren. So, Sunday 25th of February, I went to church, loaded up my car, and then in the evening it was off to Ingrid's place. Well, I got to Ingrid's place in Ferndale and unpacked my car, put my bike around the back when suddenly tragedy struck. Yes, Sir Rodney was gone. It would seem that some thieves, some crackhead, had managed to force the gate to the backyard and helped himself to Sir Rodney and some tools and things, and it looks like Sir Rodney is definitely gone. This, dear fronterizers, is where Sir Rodney once stood, and you see what's missing? Sir Rodney. Yeah. This is just an annoying cat. Got nothing to do with the story, it's just being annoying. And so we're all sad here. Ingrid's looking so sad that she's using her vape. Daniel is so sad, he's been driven to drink. April is so sad, she's had to eat her sorrows away. Callum and Molly are looking so sad over the loss of my bike that they've decided to relieve their sorrows playing video games. The cat here just eats anyway. So then it was a question of sorting out insurance and start seriously looking for a replacement for Sir Rodney and the other bits and bobs that had gone missing. Meanwhile, I had an appointment to go up north of Perth to the other side of Dimboon to Pastors Conference. I loaded up the stuff that I need into the car and then set off on Tuesday evening. I got as far as about Morley on the Tonkin Highway in peak hour traffic when suddenly tragedy struck. You vicious bastard! I'm giving you a damn good thrashing! While I did have to turn around, I did manage to make it to Pastors Conference, thanks to a couple of the guys detouring to pick me up. But Orchard Glory Farm Resort did lay on the summertime heat, but it was a lovely place to have a wonderful retreat and have the opportunity to catch up with a few of the guys who were also engaged in ministry. But then at the end of the day, I did have to turn back home and face the realities of having to replace Sir Rodney and get on the road again. So, dear fronterizers, here I am, still in Ferndale, waiting to hear back whether or not the insurance company will come to the party and by how much. And I'm still without Sir Rodney. I'm still pursuing the couch surfing lifestyle longer than I actually intended. So, what are some ramifications of the loss of Sir Rodney? First of all, the obvious one is Sir Rodney will have to be replaced, preferably with another giant revolt, or keep other options open. The second implication is that my departure is going to have to be delayed, certainly from Mandurah. There will be a question of continuing the bike shopping while hearing from the insurance company and finally getting that replacement up and ready to go. Third ramification is paying for another Sir Rodney. I'm fully expecting that the settlement will be less than the cost of replacing Sir Rodney and the other bits and pieces that were taken. So that means that I'm going to have to dip into my emergency funds for example, if I had to fly back home from Brisbane or something crazy like that. Fourth implication is the lack of exercise. Well, not altogether. It does mean that I obviously haven't been able to get on my bike and get up some riding fitness. Instead, I have managed to get in a good lot of walking, and well, at least that's something. The fifth implication is then, when I do finally get to go, with the lack of training and preparation beforehand, my departure will be sorting out what actually works as far as my equipment, because I did want to do that in my proposed bike ride from Perth or Mandurah back home to Albany. Well, that means I'm going to have to do it while I'm actually on the road. And it also means that I'm just going to have to accept that my distances are going to be shorter and it's going to be hard work. As far as proposed distances, well, my benchmark, I think it would be safest to say, would be what can I expect to walk in a day, add a bit more to that, which will be bonus, and let's see what happens. Meanwhile, I'm still hoping to be back in Albany in time for my farewell service at St. Paul. So let's see what happens. Well, that's the last week of what's been happening in the Tour de Freanzo, dear Francerisers. Do click like and subscribe, and don't forget the link down below to shout me a beer, or you can shout me a meal, or hey, you can even buy me a house if you really care to. And can I maybe add to that list, help replace Sir Rodney? Well, thanks for helping to keep this video channel going, and also hope you enjoy the video, and I will see you next time when what will finally replace Sir Rodney. Thankfully, there was no Godzilla attack. I kind of wish there had been. When will I finally get to depart on the Grand Tour de Freanzo 2024? Stay tuned.